Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Hawk the Slayer #1. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, we got the cover here for Hawk the Slayer #1. This is a 2080 Rebellion book, and it is by Garth Ennis and Henry Flint. So in case you didn't know, this book is based on a movie that came out in the 80s. So in case you hadn't watched the movie yet, they give you about 10 pages of catch up so that you can understand what was going on in the movie, and then we pick up at the end of that. But basically all you need to know is that there's a bad guy named Voltan, who is the brother of the good guy named Hawk. Voltan works for some evil black wizards and wants to get his hands on the sword that Hawk has, which is called the Elfin Mind Sword. And Hawk is actually able to have it on him at all times because it's in like some other realm, and he can just call it forth and it will materialize as he needs it. So it's a pretty cool magical sword, and you can understand why the black wizards want it. So anyway, there was a big battle. Voltan died. Hawk and his group of friends were victorious, and that's basically where we start. We pick up the story a couple months later with Hawk and his friend Gort, and they're not sure exactly what's going to happen next. They know there's still evil out there and the black wizards, and they're trying to track them down, but they're not sure where they're at. So they're in this town looking for leads. And while they're in this town, some bad guys try to rob a couple people, and Hawk steps in with Gort, and this is where we get to see him call forth his Elven Mind Sword out of the ether, and he stops the robbers in their tracks. And after they've dissuaded the robbers, Gort hears a man talking to him from inside the building next to him, and as Gort approaches, the man removes his hood and unleashes a surprise attack against Gort, and it turns out that this man is one of the followers of the Black Wizards, and his eyes have been completely removed. But before the attacker can really accomplish anything against Gort, Hawk comes in with his Elven Mind Sword and chops him in half. So then Hawk and Gort, having gotten confirmation that there is in fact evil going on still from the Black Wizards, they go to talk to a friend of theirs who's this eyeless witch. And she kind of tells them that she does know that the Black Wizards are doing something evil, but she can't penetrate their magics to see what they're up to. And Hawk, having a suspicion that the Black Wizards are up to something even worse, asks her if they can resurrect people because he's concerned that they can resurrect Voltan, who died at the end of the movie. But unfortunately, she tells them that all her digging has not gone unaware and that she believes they have been detected. And as she says that, we see an evil hand in the bottom panel just outside of their hut. So I'm going to stop it right there. I don't want to spoil anything else. So I have actually seen Hawk the Slayer, the movie. To me, it was kind of one of those it's so bad it's good movies, but I could see if you watched it when you were a little kid in the 80s, it might have taken you away on some fantastical journey and probably has a special place in your heart. But even though the movie was kind of cheesy, I think there was still good story in there. So I picked up this comic. I really liked Garth Ennis's writing in this. Once we got past the recap, I got sucked into this world, and I definitely want to know what happens to Hawk and his band of friends next. And we got to find out if the Black Wizards eventually resurrect Voltan. I like the art in this book, and he always has this kind of sketchy line work. It's definitely his style. So personally, I don't mind it, but I could see how other people might not like it as much. I thought he did some really good work in especially the scenes with the violence. When Hawk cuts that guy with black eyes in half, I thought that was a pretty awesome panel. I also liked the art in the retelling of what happened in the movie section. It really kind of drops you into what was going on, and I actually remembered scenes based on what his art was showing. So I think he did a good job for this, and I think the style fits the book overall. So I'm going to give this book a 3.5 out of 5. I'm definitely going to pick up the rest of them. Now, this book might actually be hard to get a hold of, and you might be able to order it through your local comic book store, but you can also get it on 2080's website, and that's how I got it. I downloaded it digitally from there. So I'll put a link to that in the video description below in case anyone wants to check it out. So if you saw anything you liked, definitely go pick that one up, and we'll see y'all in the next one.